Hey everyone, welcome back. As I had mentioned a couple of days ago, I did want to go over um as of to what happened to a portion of my dogs. I have been getting a lot of DMs, messages. I even got a few emails from people, and I just wanted to come here and clarify what happened. So, as some of you know, I had six pit bulls, um, and unfortunately, two of them passed away is the nice way of saying they are no longer with us. Give me 1 second. My neighbor's dog is spying on me. Please, back to where we were. I'm sorry, I had to change locations. It was getting kind of creepy. The dog just staring into my soul over the fence. But as I was saying, unfortunately, 2 weeks ago, all four of my smallest dogs um, got into a very brutal fight, and I am talking about it was something out of a horror movie. And dumb enough, me and my husband decided that we were strong enough or capable enough to get in the middle of them, um, to try and separate them. But unfortunately, that was not the case. Uh, Unfortunately, our two youngest male dogs, so Chino and Max, um, got into a very heated fight, which me and my husband tried to grab each one of the dogs and try to separate them. But while we were in the midst of trying to separate them, unfortunately, both dogs got a hold of my husband's hand, and they bit my husband very bad, extremely bad. Uh, Due to the injuries and whatnot, I was forced to call the 911 and have the rescue sent over. And when they asked me the reason for the one I needed the rescue, I advised them that my dogs had gotten into a fight and that my husband had gotten bitten, and therefore they sent animal control over to my house, causing them to remove my dogs. Now, at the time that they came over and all the ordeal, um, they removed three out of my four smallest dogs, um, because the mom and dad, I keep them isolated from all the rest of the puppies, so they were not involved in the incident. Um, Fortunately, they had to remove three of them, so they removed both male dogs and one of the female dogs. She was badly injured. For a minute, we thought that she had passed away, but luckily that was not the case. Um, so they took care of her wounds, um, and luckily enough, we were able to retrieve her this past Thursday, um, which makes my heart very happy in a way, because I have all my girls home with me. But sadly, when we went to try and retrieve our dogs, they told me, or they told us that um, the boy dogs were no longer viable and they were no longer safe to be in a home environment. Oh God, hold on, because now um, my last male dog is fighting with my neighbor's dog. Give me a second. Okay, and we had to change locations once again. At this point, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to finish the video if they fight again or if they bark at each other again. The funny thing is that the way that our backyard is set up, our yard is literally like 3 or 4 feet higher than my neighbor's backyard. So it's just funny the way that it's just a weird outcome. Anyways, um, as I was saying, so they told us that unfortunately our two male dogs, Chino and Max, were no longer viable, and they were no longer be releasing them back to me, um, because they bit my husband, and it was a big ordeal. And because we have small children in the house, They believe that it was a safety concern for them. Therefore, our pups will be going to doggy heaven sometime next week. So, um, sadly, it is a very difficult time that I'm going through. Um, I usually don't like to show a lot of emotions because I was raised believing that if you showed emotions, it made you feel like you were a weak person. And somehow, after years, I have learned that that is not the case, or that's not true. Um, but give me 1 second. I have to change again, locations again. There's a stupid bird that. 1 second. Okay, let's try this one last time because um, as you see, the video is progressing and my voice and my feelings are starting to change, and they are literally starting to come out. And like I said, I don't want to put myself in a very vulnerable space or spot out there, or at least not yet. I'm a very happy and cheery, outgoing person, and sadly, because of how things are going in the past couple of days, um, I am showing a completely different side of myself right now. And I know a lot of people would not sympathize with me, but I know those that have pets will. Um, so as I was saying, my dogs, Chino and Max, and I'm not gonna say my dogs again. I'm going to refer to them by their names because they were very loved and they will always be loved. Fortunately, they will be going to doggy heaven sometime next week, um, or at least that's what they told me. Unfortunately, when I spoke to the sheriff county department, they told me that I was not able to say goodbye to them, and I was not able to be there because um, it was going to be a traumatizing experience, according to them. Um, Regardless of what they have said, it is a traumatizing experience, whether I'm there or not, knowing what the actual outcome for them is. It has been a very traumatizing experience for my kids, um, which I have had to tell them that the dogs are going to live in a farm. Um, because how do I explain to my 7-year old that his dog is going to be put to sleep because of a misunderstanding over a toy? Yes, you heard me right. All this fight and chaos that happened was over a toy. So, um, I am going to wrap this video up here because I can feel the tears starting to come down, and that is something that I do not want to do yet, or I don't want to do once again. I am trying to stay as positive as I can, and I am trying to just be as happy as I can and remember them in the happiest days, the happy memories, which is basically what I'm trying to do. Um, I want to leave this video by saying something very important, and that is if you have multiple dogs from a litter, please look into litter mate syndrome. I had no idea that was even a thing until um, the fight happened and things got out of control and out of hand to the point where no matter how hard we tried, no matter how much we tried, we were not able to control the fight. If you have multiple dogs, please, I advise you that, especially if they are all from the same litter, to always keep an eye out on them and always keep watch. This has taught me to never again leave my dogs unattended for more than 5 seconds because that is literally all the time that it took. 5 seconds for a fight to break out. I'm going to next leave a few clips of them to remember the happy memories because I just want them to know anywhere where they are, whether it's doggy heaven, whether it's with God, or anywhere that they are. I just want them to remember that they were very loved by me, my husband, my kids, and everybody that knew of their existence. Um, I will see you guys on the next one. Please enjoy the next